I was walking through the dense forest, my boots crunching against damp leaves, when I stumbled upon something that sent a chill down my spine. Half buried in the earth, covered in moss and tangled roots, was an egg unlike anything I'd ever seen. It was massive, nearly the size of a football, its surface glossy black, webbed with deep crimson veins that pulsed faintly as if alive. My instinct screamed at me to leave it alone, but curiosity got the better of me. I reached out, running my fingers over its slick surface. It was warm, too warm for something just lying in the dirt. That should have been my first clue to walk away, but I didn't. Instead, I carefully lifted it and carried it home, heart pounding with a mix of excitement and fear. I placed it in a box lined with old towels in my garage, unsure what to do next. Maybe it was some kind of exotic bird's egg? An abandoned reptile's nest? The logical explanations didn't quite fit, though. The way the veins pulsed, the warmth, the way I felt uneasy just being near it, none of that made sense. Still, I watched it, fascinated, until exhaustion took over and I went to bed. That night, I was jolted awake by a strange sound. A deep, rhythmic thumping, like a heartbeat, echoed through the house. At first, I thought it was my imagination, but then I heard something else, a faint cracking noise. My stomach twisted with equal parts dread and anticipation. I grabbed my flashlight and rushed to the garage. The egg was moving. Tiny fractures spread across its glossy surface, the crimson veins glowing brighter with each tremor. My breath hitched as the first crack split wide open, revealing something dark and wet beneath. A claw, long, sharp, and curved, emerged, scraping against the cardboard box. I stumbled back, my pulse racing. This was no bird, no reptile. This was something else entirely. With a final sickening crunch, the egg shattered completely, and what hatched from it left me frozen in place. It was a creature unlike anything I had ever seen. Its skin was smooth and dark, shimmering like liquid obsidian. Its limbs were long and sinewy, ending in sharp, clawed fingers. But it was the eyes that truly terrified me, large, luminous, and an unnatural shade of violet. They locked onto me, studying, calculating. It didn't move for several seconds. Neither did I. Then, without warning, it let out a low, melodic trill, something between a purr and a whisper. And against all logic, I felt my fear lessen. There was something strangely intelligent about it, something almost human. I took a cautious step closer, and it mirrored my movement, tilting its head. It was waiting. For what, I didn't know. But I had a sinking feeling that whatever this thing was, it wasn't here by accident. I spent the next few days observing it, trying to make sense of what I had brought into my home. It didn't eat regular food, ignored water, and didn't make a sound beyond that strange trilling noise. It was eerily silent, always watching, always aware. The more time passed, the more I realized it was growing, fast. Its limbs elongated, its features sharpened. It moved with an unnatural grace, almost floating rather than walking. And one night, I woke up to find it standing at the foot of my bed, its violet eyes glowing in the dark. That was the moment I knew. I had made a mistake. I tried to get rid of it. I packed it back into the box, drove miles away into the wilderness, and left it there. I should have felt relief, but something gnawed at me, an unease that wouldn't fade. When I returned home, my house felt wrong. The air was heavy, the shadows deeper, and then, as I stepped into my garage, my blood ran cold. The box was back, and it was empty. My heart pounded as I spun around, scanning the dark corners of the room. My breath hitched when I saw them, those same violet eyes, gleaming from the shadows. It hadn't just found its way back. It had never left. That's when I realized I hadn't discovered the egg. It had discovered me.